From the release date to the Fame Pass, I'll be predicting the 11.0 update. Currently, Izzytorium haven't made a blog post announcing the update or any tweets about it as they make in this video, so I'll be calling it the 11.0 update. Let me give you some context before I tell you when I think the 11.0 update will release. On March 23rd, I released a video talking about a huge leak, and in that video I predicted that the Fall Forever update, aka 10.9, will release on the 24th of April. Since out of these 7 post-seasonal Fame Passes that we've gotten so far, 4 of them have been released 6 days after an update. The 3 that didn't were Fame Pass 6, Fame Pass 8, and Fame Pass 10. Originally, Fame Pass 9 was supposed to end on April 30th. Izzytorium delayed the release of the next update and Fame Pass, which wound up releasing on the 7th of May. While the gap between an update and Fame Pass releasing is 6 days, we've had 2 updates in which the Fame Pass and update came out at the same time, that being Fame Pass 6 and Fame Pass 10. Now with all that context and history out of the way, I predict the 11.0 update will release on the 18th of June, which will be a Tuesday and also the day that Fame Pass 10 will end. If there's one thing I'm sure of, is that the 11.0 update and Fame Pass 11 will come out at the same time. Even if they delay the release of the update or the Fame Pass, both things will simultaneously release at the same time. In a bit of an unscripted tangent, I always find it strange how the update and the Fame Pass usually has a 6-day delay. And what's weird is it's always a 6-day delay. It's never 7 days, never 5 days. It's always been 6 days. And honestly, I think they should make it to where the update and Fame Pass come out at the same time. Much like how a season always had a season pass or a legacy season always had a Fame Pass. Izzytorium announced the Fall Forever update 8 days before its release via blog post, and they announced the Survival update 1 day before its release, and all the other updates usually get dropped without any build up. Usually they'll drop a trailer on the day of release along with a blog post. I believe that Izzytorium are going to announce the Fall Forever update with a trailer and a blog post a little over a week before the update is supposed to release, just like they did with the 10.9 update. However, I strongly believe they're going to show the trailer during Summer's Games Fest. And what's funny is that Izzytorium and Epic Games actually have been at Summer's Games Fest before, more specifically 2021 and 2022. And what's even funnier is that Izzytorium actually have announced things about Fall Guys on June 10th of those years, so June 10th, 2021 and June 10th, 2022. So I believe they're going to drop the trailer for the Fall Forever update on June 10th, 2024 on Summer's Games Fest. Epic Games probably going to do their own presentation, and that's when they'll drop the trailer on that particular date. For the uninitiated, Summer's Game Fest is a multi-day event held in Los Angeles, and it's held every summer, hence the name Summer's Game Fest, and was created by Jeff Keighley in 2020. Live stream on YouTube, Twitch, and probably more platforms, but I do know it's live stream on YouTube for sure. It's not just one live stream or event, but rather multiple smaller events from different gaming companies like Devolver Digital, Xbox, Sony, Epic Games, and much more. It's basically a chance for video game developers and publishers to show off their newest game or the upcoming season or update if it's a live service game. Fall Guys has been a part of 2021's and 2022's Summer Games Fest. On June 10th, 2021, they showed off a trailer for the Nier Automata collab, which added the game's protagonist 2B as a skin in Fall Guys. They announced that the skin will release on the 18th of June. Flash forward 1 year later to June 10th, 2022, Epic Games did a 22-minute showcase showing a ton of stuff, and one of those was the trailer for Fall Guys Season 1 Free-For-All. Sorry, future's year, so while I was getting footage for these Summer Game Fest trailers, apparently I missed something, and that's the Season 1 Free-For-All official live action trailer was actually showcased on June 10th, 2022 on Summer Game Fest 2022. And no, this was not showcased during the Epic Games Store showcase that they did. This was apparently a whole separate thing. With Epic Games and Fall Guys having a history of appearing at Summer's Games Fest, I predict that Epic Games will show a trailer for the 11.0 update during SGF, more specifically in their own presentation, and since Epic Games is a partner, they'll probably have a lot more stuff to show off than Fall Guys, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tack on the trailer near the end of the presentation like they did with the SS1 trailer. If anything, I could see them talking about Fall Guys being in Fortnite, since that's going to be a thing soon. A better question to ask is, will Izzytorium host their own broadcast or do a live stream in-house just like they did with Creative Construction and the Free-For-All announcement? And honestly, no, I don't think they will. If anything, the 10.9 update, aka Fall Forever, deserved one, especially with Explore. However, while to us the 11.0 update is huge, but to Izzytorium and most importantly Epic Games is just an update. And while yes, the updates have been getting bigger and adding more things, you gotta remember, the Creative Construction broadcast announced Creative Mode, the biggest thing the game has ever seen at the time and probably will be for a long time. The Free-For-All announcement was there to tell the world the game is going free to play and will be on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PS5, along with teasing Creative Mode at the end. Nowadays, they usually shadow drop updates to maximize hype and get people playing the game. As in today's day and age, building up hype long before an update releases could mean people will forget about your game or update by the time it releases, because hype and excitement always peaks right when a trailer drops, so by shadow dropping, you get all those excited players on your game. But of course, there are exceptions, especially with single player games and franchise games. Izzytorium probably wants to spend as little money as possible advertising their updates, which is why some of the updates also don't really feature CGI trailers anymore and are just like straight up gameplay. And doing a broadcast probably eats a good amount of their budget and time. And I don't know how much the layoffs has really affected Mediatonic. According to people at Mediatonic, it was really devastating. So maybe the layoffs made it to where they can't really, do all of these broadcasts to the quality they were before. But again, that's just me theorizing. We have no idea. So them doing a whole broadcast in-house is just something I don't see happening. If there's one thing I could predict for creative mode in the 11.0 update, it is that we're going to get one new theme. And I believe that theme is going to be Medieval, aka Legacy Season 2's theme. We're honestly due for new themes in Fall Guys Creative. We only have two themes, those being original and digital, and those came out when Fall Guys Creative released back on May 10th, 2023, so over a year ago. And when they teased Fall Guys Creative back in the free fall announcement, they actually showed objects that actually had the medieval theme. And you know what, while we're just predicting stuff, and I'm just gonna throw it out there, we're gonna get a budget increase to 3K, so 3,000 memory units. The last time we got a budget increase was in the 10.5 update, aka Tool Up. So a new theme and a budget increase would be great. When Fall Force, aka the 10.4 update released, Mediatonic changed the home screen along with the track that plays, which is Everybody Falls. And usually whenever we had a new season, the UI would change to resemble a theme of the season. So SS2 would be space themed and the plinth would be floating. In SS3 it was sea themed, so the plinth looked like something out of Atlantis. The background color will complement the theme, the loading screens would change and would have the season's key art, and just so much more things they would do to really make the game feel like it's in that particular theme. We've had the current UI for 8 months now, and I'm predicting they'll change the UI's theme with the 11.0 update, and they'll change the background on the map splash screen. However, I do not think we'll get new key art for the loading screen. Either way, I just think it's about time we've had a fresh coat of paint. Oh boy, let's talk about mobile. Rumors of mobile have been on the rise recently. I feel like talks about mobile have been going on for years now. I predict that Fall Guys Mobile will not release in the next update, mainly due to the lawsuit Epic Games has or had with Apple. The very simplified version is that Epic Games tried to sidestep Apple's 30% tax they have on all transactions that involve the Apple App Store. So as a result, they banned Fortnite from the App Store on August 2020. It became a legal battle ever since, and I believe Google also banned Fortnite as well, and it's just been going on for like almost 4 years now. I do think Fall Guys Mobile will be a thing. It just has to be. Literally the last market they could tap into. Well, virtual reality is an option and Among Us is on VR, but that market is very young and it doesn't have the install base that mobile does. I cannot overstate the importance of mobile. It is such a huge market. In 2024 alone, it's estimated that the mobile industry will make $189.50 billion in revenue. That's billion with a B, folks. And being on mobile first was the key reason why Stumble Guys was able to get more popular than Fall Guys. While you can install the Epic Games Store from the Samsung Galaxy Store if you happen to own a Samsung device, once Fortnite and Epic Games Store can be downloaded on iOS worldwide, I believe it's going to be a thing in the EU because of laws that have been passed, and also UK, I believe, if I recall correctly. Again, it is a whole ordeal and it's laws and just stuff that I just cannot comprehend, to be honest with you. But once Fortnite Epic Games is just back on iOS like for everybody and also Google Play, that's when I think Fall Guys Mobile will be released. Epic Games did state that Fortnite would return to the App Store sometime in 2024. With solos returning, it along with squads of duos having only Unity rounds, I predict that Knockout will only have creative rounds. Right now, it's a mixture of both Unity and creative. 25 Unity and 16 creative levels to be exact. However, when it came out, it had 17 Unity and 23 creative levels. Even if Knockout comes out in the next update and it still has a mix of Unity and classic levels, I think in the distant future, like a few updates ahead, Knockout will only have creative rounds. And some will say that could potentially cannibalize Explorer, and I don't think it'll do that at all. If anything, it's a whole different mode. It functions literally differently. It's like an endless mode where you can just keep playing uncurated levels for however long you want. The traditional Fall Guys experience is that it's limited to a certain amount of levels. You go from one round and you keep qualifying all the way to the finale, and then you get your reward at the end. So Explorer is very different from the traditional Fall Guys formula. And a ton of people are not going to agree with this, and that's fine. But Knockout having both Unity and creative levels is actually sort of a detriment, because people who really only like classic levels obviously have solo squads of duos to play, and people who are a huge fan of the creative levels and only want to play curated creative levels, well, they don't really have a place to do that. Although Explore is an option, but again, that's uncurated. And curating is basically the act of like people actually hand picking levels and putting it in the mode itself. With Knockout having only creative levels, it could fill that void that's missing ever since they removed solo shuffle, survival shuffle, and digi shuffle selection, and just LTMs that only contain creator made rounds. But again, that's just my opinion. Comment below and let me know, do you agree, do you disagree? Let me know. Knockout is currently advertised as having a mix of new and classic rounds. However, when it first came out, the description was different. It said, quote, compete against other players in multiple rounds until there's only one winner, levels are curated and refreshed periodically, end quote. So basically, the description change to include a mix of both classic and new was added when they brought back solos on the 29th of May. When the update came out on the 7th of May, knockout, squads, and duos had the exact same round pool, and let's just say the decision was met with backlash. People were not a fan of how the game was pushing over the classic levels, and saying people were not a fan of the survival rounds that were made with Fall Guys Creative is putting it lightly. Knockout, along with squads and duos having only 17 Unity rounds, and the game basically prioritizing creative rounds, so you almost never got classic levels. Also doesn't help the round limit was 3, and the game had a whole host of other issues. However, I already discussed some of them in my first impressions video on the Fall Forever update, which went over the first week of the update. With solos returning and squads and duos having unique team rounds and no creative levels, I think they can safely remove the Unity rounds from Knockout and make it a creative only mode, and people won't complain that much, as they have a way of only playing the classic levels. The fact that we'll be getting Fame Pass 11 on the 11.0 update is just great. It doesn't feel like it's a coincidence to me. Either way, I think it'll be called June 24 or June 2024, since that is in line with what the last two Fame Passes have been called, being named after the month they released. They'll definitely release the pass on June 18th along with the 11.0 update. As for how many tiers the pass will have, I think it'll have 70. It'll be structured the exact same as Fame Pass 10. I don't expect them to increase the amount of fame you can earn from the game or the challenge board. With the introduction of the social wheels in the 10.9 update, they added 8 new quick phrases and 4 new emoticons or stickers that have different images on them, such as a heart for example. I'll be calling them stickers for the remainder of the video, by the way. Right now we can't swap out the stickers, so we're stuck with the ones in the game right now. However, I believe that we'll be able to buy stickers by themselves with kudos. However, I could see them putting stickers in bundles that you buy with Showbox. Either way, I do believe we'll be able to swap out stickers in the future, even if it doesn't happen in the next update. And while the last live event we had happened in the Power Party update, I do think they'll give us stickers as rewards in live events. Maybe they could make it a pack of stickers so you say get 4 of them. On an unrelated note, with 11.0, I think we'll be able to fully customize the emoticon social wheel. We'll be able to remove stickers entirely and add emotes, so you could have a total of 8 on the social wheel, or we can remove emotes and have 8 stickers instead. Either way, I would love to see a fully customizable social wheel. Oh boy, I was saving potentially the headlining feature for last, but we'll give out a spoiler warning as this was leaked a while ago, so you can click out the video now if you want to avoid leaks. So in my This Fall Guys leak is game changing video, I talked about a leak posted by @FGLeaks and Info over on Twitter back in May 20th, 2023, whereas they said that Izzytorium were working on a ranked mode. Then a few months, on December 2nd, 2023, they tweeted out what appears to be icons for the different ranks. I talked about it in great detail in the video, so I'll keep this brief. I believe ranked mode will be added in the 11.0 update. The image shows 8 icons, meaning we'll probably get 8 ranks, and it will act exactly the same or similarly to how Fortnite does it, where most of the ranks will have sub-ranks, so Bronze 3, Bronze 2, Bronze 1, etc. However, once you reach the final set of ranks, they won't have any sub-ranks. I feel like with the ragdoll changes, where it's basically not a thing anymore, although it definitely is a thing in rare instances, and according to Metonic, it is a thing. Either way, with this change, ranked mode will be a lot more viable since we aren't ragdolling as much, and ragdolling does add a little bit of element of RNG, and obviously when you have a ranked mode, you want as little RNG as possible. Although I am aware of how funny it is that Fall Guys is having a ranked mode, because when you think of ranked, you think of like competitiveness, like Apex or Call of Duty, League of Legends, and just stuff like that. So either way, with the ragdoll changes, ranked mode will be a lot more viable since we aren't ragdolling as much. In general, the mid-air control, while some people don't like it because it makes Blast Ball and Blastlantis much easier, will make those rounds a bit more fair when you get them ranked. In the huge leak video, I mentioned how Time Attack doesn't have body blocking, and actually that's wrong. They actually disabled grabbing. For some reason, I thought body blocking wasn't a thing in Time Attack, but it's actually grabbing that isn't a thing, or isn't a thing in that mode. Shouldn't have to mention this, but disabling grabbing in ranked would be incredibly stupid, as grabbing is quite literally essential to the game and it can help you get wins in maps like Jump Showdown, Thin Ice, Cracker Slam, and way more. Some maps just wouldn't work with it, like Blast Ball, Egg Scramble, Tail Tag, and etc. And we already have some classic maps that have been removed from the game due to the jump changes, so they're definitely not going to disable grabbing. And as for rewards, I think they'll add a section on the challenge board dedicated to ranked, and you can earn rewards for playing ranked. Whether it be doing certain challenges or unlocking a new ranked, you'll earn rewards based on that. And I strongly believe they'll give out stickers as rewards, especially for the lower ranks. It's similar to how Fortnite gives out sprays and just stuff like that. But I do believe the game will give out full skins, but I could see them mainly giving out emotes, banners, nicknames, nameplates, wearables, and obviously stickers. I read a comment on my leak video saying the final rank should be called Infallible, and this is just perfect. I'm hoping it's called that, and if it's not, we definitely should just make a petition and just let let Mutonic know we want the final rank to be called Infallible. Literally one of the achievements is named Infallible. Since all the modes except for Explore has skill-based matchmaking, do I think they'll get rid of it when Ranked comes out? I don't think so. As much as people rag on SBMM, I doubt they'll get rid of it, otherwise why introduce it to squads or duos in recent updates? I believe it was added in those modes in the 10.6, maybe 10.7 update, I'm not sure. Plus from Mutonic's perspective, it helps balance the game as casuals don't have to worry about being stomped by sweats. If they remove it, awesome. If they don't, it's whatever. When Ranked mode comes out, I could see the balancing of it being awful. Like players who are in say Bronze are getting people who are like 5 ranks ahead of them. Especially as players progress through the ranks, less and less people will be near the top. So the game will pair you up with people who are a few ranks below you as a way to fill up the lobby. Because there are always going to be more players who are at Silver than say Diamond. With Extreme Fall Guys appearing in the Fall of Era update, it could hold 40 players, when all the other modes except for Explorer can hold 32. I believe Extreme Squads came out as a last second decision and not something that was pre-planned, which is why it had 40, which was a player limit in the last update. I do think Ranked will hold a max of 32 players. As much as people want 60, I don't think it'll happen. Mutonic wants the games to be shorter, at first 3 rounds only, but changed it to 4 due to qualification limits being so low. Over the course of playing this game for 3 years, I've seen the game grow and evolve, but I've also seen its low points. I'll talk about it along with my journey as a Fall Guys content creator, so click this video on screen and I'll see you over there. And thank you to our Maxstore members for your continued support as always.